Welcome to Safari India's exclusive interview with Anu Malhotra, film director and author, Shamans of the Himalayas. Welcome to the show, Anu.
Hi, Joita. Lovely to be here.
What first drew you to the world of Himalayan shamans, and how did this fascination evolve into both a documentary and now a book?
I have been in love with the mountains for as long as I remember. And every summer, for the last perhaps 20, 25 years, I go to Manali to spend the summer there. So post my last series, once I was had finished with my the previous project, I was holidaying in Manali, and then, in fact, I was sitting in the presence of the Hidimba temple. I usually would go there, sit on a rock and meditate. And I got this really clear download that, I should do a documentary of this culture. And that's how it started.
So was it difficult for you to, because it's a different medium, right? You're doing films, right? And then you're writing it. So the aspect is totally different than writing and then, directing it. Was there any challenges that you faced, and what visual storytelling influence you could get so that readers could gorge and understand it more, on a more personal and more understandable note, who is absolutely new to the concept of shamans?
Yeah. Well, I have always written my own scripts. So I'm a screenwriter, and I've been a screenwriter for, since the mid-90s. But screenwriting is obviously very different. The difference is, of course, you don't have to describe the visuals, you don't have to describe the actions. You understand? And so in the book, the narrative was the same, my experience is the same. But the descriptions I had to add on, what the places look like, what the actions look like. So that is different. So definitely, a narrative or a book is definitely a different format from a film script.
When did you start writing the book?
My last project was Soul Survivors, which was a multimedia exhibition, which went to Bikaner House in 18. I think after that I started. So maybe 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 5 years. Yeah. Took me 5 years to write it. Yeah.
So when you were documenting these, researching about this topic, and about the spiritual healers, was there any particular encounter or a moment that left a lasting and a personal impact on you?
Yes, I mean, the entire experience was something which was very unusual. And, when you have unique and unusual experiences, you don't really forget them because they're so out of the ordinary. Where it became very personal for me was I was filming another session with a gur, and I had tried to get to document all the Devis and Devtas. We had to ask for permission. So the permission is divined. They do a divination system, and they ask, can she film or not? Every temple, every Devi, everything that was documented required permission. So one of the gurus of a Nag Devta, he was doing a pooch. They call a pooch is when you want to ask your god something, you put a pooch in. Pooch, like poochna. So pooch. So then the family had called the guru over to ask the Devta for something. So it was in their attic. So Tej Singh went into trance, and he was screaming, shouting, when the Devta possessed him, he went into trance and he was telling the family. They don't speak the local language. They speak a different language when they go into trance. They go into the older language, and sometimes they go into an other language that most people don't understand, but the gurus understand. So they sometimes use different language. So then suddenly he turned around, and I was filming with my small camera, and he turned around and started addressing me, and and he was kind of waving his arms around. And I went to him, and the whole thing became really emotional. Like everyone started crying, and I was also crying because the energy was so palpable. And it was so strong that everyone was crying, and we couldn't understand why is everyone crying, because, it became very, very charged, the atmosphere. So he told me, and they had to interpret. He said that you have been struggling with a chronic disease for many years. Is that right or not? And I said, yes. I was quite shocked. I said, how does he know? Then he said, okay, so then there is a nazar on you and you need to get the nazar taken out. So I said, fine. So that's when this one was when it became very shocking. And then I had it checked out. I went to another guru and he did another divination set. And he also said, yes, not only do you have nazar, but you do have a medical problem. And then we asked another divination session that how will this illness get cured? And the answer came that you will have some medical intervention, and you will also, and I'm also doing some pujas and putting the dhaga to take away the nazar. The thing is that what is imperative to understand, and this is what people don't know, that the entire lifestyle of the villagers is governed by the Devi and Devtas. They don't do anything without the permission.
Today's disconnected world, what the modern readers can learn from the shamans of the Himalayas. What they can take from the Himalayan people, and specifically.
I think it is to really firstly get that, hello, we've been to Himachal, we don't know. So we don't know much about the rest of our country. So number one, let's find out more about our country. Number two, let's also find out what are the different kinds of lifestyle and cultures, that other unique cultures that we have in the country. Let's explore them. And let's also understand that we don't know it all and we don't understand it all, and we need to know. We are ignorant. We need to learn. We need to know. But I think the common factor with all these communities is the sense of community, the sense of harmony, the connectedness. You will find the youth are very grounded. They're not into parties and drugs and this and that. They're rooted in the communities. The older generation is active. They're working. So there are no lifestyle diseases. There's the sense of community that happens. I keep giving this example, and it's in the film and it's in the book as well.
And also, Anu, one last question. With both, film and books highlighting the spiritual practices, do you see any, thing about spiritual or paranormal tourism rising in India? Because the paranormal tourism is, it is a part which specifically, people like to, because it's something touched and untouched at the same point of time. So,
Well, this is not paranormal.
But spiritual tourism.
It is. Of course it is. It is spiritual. You can club it under spiritual, cultural heritage, because this is their heritage, and definitely you can. There's a lot. I would like the tourism ministry to make the Kullu Dashera a World Heritage Festival, because it's incredible. And it should be done. And I don't know what our government is doing. We can do so much in India on tourism, on various different, and heritage tourism is so big. It's shocking that we are not doing much with it. It's shocking.
Thank you, Anu, for sharing your views about the book Shamans of the Himalayas and also the documentary. Thank you so much.